Hello, hello, it's probably Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. I think I have perfected the coffee dyeing process. So I know I did a previous video on this way back when. So yeah, I've perfected it and it's so easy. It's foolproof, I swear. So if you want to have a page spread that looks something like this, or coffee dyed papers for many other things. I mean, if you're making an old treasure map or whatever, and you need some old looking paper, you don't have to use the stenciling, but I will show you a few different ways to do it using a few different techniques or tools. I don't know what you'd say. Anyway, hang in there with me and we'll get started. All right, I'm really excited about this. Okay, I am using two different weights of paper today. I'm using 20-pound just regular copy paper, and I'm using 32-pound premium color copy paper. I love this paper. It's like so smooth. It's not smooth after you coffee dye it, but I love this weight because it's not quite as thin, but it's not too thick. It's just right. And I'll actually put a link for that 32-pound paper if you're interested. It's my favorite. Okay, and then you're going to need some coffee. It's the instant coffee is what you want. So this is just some I got at Walmart. It's pretty affordable. I know some people don't drink coffee, and so you might not know what to buy. Just look for this one at Walmart, or I will find a link for some cheap stuff on Amazon and put that down there in the description box as well. I'm using 1/8 of a cup of the coffee powder or the instant coffee to 1 cup or 8 ounces of water. So it took me a while to figure out the measurements because I always just dump stuff in, and when it's the color I like, then I just stick with it. But so it took me a minute to kind of figure out what the ratios were so I could give you a starting point. So that's what I use. 1/8 of a cup of the coffee grounds to 1 cup of water. And if you are worried about the acidity in the coffee, if you're worried about ruining your paper, I'm not a scientist. I've done a little bit of reading, but I'm hearing different things. You know, I've heard that, or I've read that once the coffee dries on the paper that it's not acidic anymore. I don't know if that's true. So if you are worried about it, just put a pinch of baking soda into your coffee bath and that will neutralize the acidity. So, you know, you're safe if you do that. So if that's something you're worried about, go ahead and do that. All right, we are going to go to the other room because I don't have enough room here to dye the paper. So let's go to the family room. And I'm sorry you're going to have a little bit of a weird angle, but just hang in there with me. It'll be worth it. Okay, welcome to my family room. So I've just got a card table, and then I've lined it with just one of those thin garbage sacks. I just cut down the seam and just to give a little barrier, I guess. And then I have a couple of old towels that I'm going to use to dry the paper on. And I'm also using my coffee table fitting, right, with a really thick folded up towel on that one. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I hope that the sound is going to be okay for this because I can't use my mic in here because it's just too much like feedback or whatever. It makes weird noises when I put it on my shirt. So I'm going to try to talk loud, so hopefully there's not going to be a bunch of, you know, weird sounds. So anyway, I'm using like a roasting pan. A cake pan would be perfect because it has higher sides. Here's my hand. It has taller sides, and it's what, 13 by 9, which would be perfect for copy size paper or letter size paper. This one is way bigger than I need. It's I don't know how long that is, 18 inches. It's bigger than I need. I always use this one, so I'm just, you know, here we go. So I'm starting with, this is just the 20-pound, and I'm just going to dunk it. I mean, if I had more coffee in here, I could just, you know, smash it down and submerge it, but it's, yeah, there's not a lot in there. I mean, there is, but since it's such a big pan. So then I'm just going to lay it out on the towel. And this is just how you can achieve just the coffee dyed look. So I'm not leaving it in there for any amount of time. What is nice about that is you don't tear the corners. Because if you've done this before and you've left it in the coffee bath for a while, you'll notice when you go to take it out, the corners rip. So by making extra strong coffee and just dunking it and taking it right out, you'll still get the dark paper, but you're not going to tear your edges. Okay. So I'm just going to leave those to dry. The puddling on top is totally fine. Just, it kind of gives it more, you know, different kind of shades and kind of a texture look almost. So I'm just going to air dry. I know you can also dry it in your oven. I'm not one of those people that like to dry it in my oven. I like to just let it air dry. So yeah, I mean, everybody's different, but I like to just let mine air dry. So I'm actually going to stop for a minute and move these over to the table so that I can do some stencils. Okay, for this next part, any stencils will work. You know, if you don't have the ones that fill up the whole page, you can use smaller ones. It really doesn't matter. I will put a link for the ones that I'm using below. I have a whole bunch of examples of other stencils I've done, but for the sake of the video, we'll just do a couple on camera. So for these, I'm going to use the heavier, the 32 pound. So same thing, I'm just making sure I get both sides. And then take it out. And then as soon as I take it out, I put this stencil on it. And I know there's some colors on here. I don't usually wash my stencils unless I'm using texture paste or paint. Because I think sometimes when you get those surprise colors, it's kind of fun. Okay. So you just do that. Just put it right on top. I'm going to do it. Oh, I had a paper right there and I grabbed another one. Oh, well. Okay, just take it out, lay it down, and put the stencil on it. Now, if you wanted to, you could get like a paintbrush or something and kind of put more coffee on top of it, but it works out perfectly if you don't, so it's kind of up to you. So I'm going to hurry and move these because I don't like to move them after I put the stencil on, so I'm going to hurry and move them before they've had a chance to dry it all, so we can do the third idea. Okay, so this next one is a vinyl placemat. So for this one, since this is so big, I can actually put down 2 pieces of paper and then put the placemat over the top. So again, just going to dip this. And then I need a second one. All right, so you just try to line them up. I mean, if you have one this big. And then I like to use the bottom side of it, not the top. It just seems to turn out better that way. And then just place it right on top and just let it dry just like that. Sometimes I lay my papers out on one of these cookie drying racks to dry. I can fit 2 on here. And when I do that, it gives kind of a cool, it has lines. I don't know if you can see that. It has lines on it, which is kind of fun to use as journal pages because it already has some kind of lines in it. So that is another idea too. I should have mentioned you should probably wear gloves, or I don't know why I totally forgot to put on gloves. My hands are, yeah, I'm gonna have to get the nail brush out. Okay, so here's another idea. Just dunk it in. And this makes a really cool effect. Oh, it's kind of crumpled. That's one thing about the paper. It likes to curl when it's only wet on one side. Okay, so then I'm gonna just kind of crumple it up. Not super tight, just like this. And then I'm just gonna open it back up carefully because it could rip. Ah, stuck to itself. Okay, and then just leave it like that to dry. I mean, you can kind of see how it's going to look. You can see the lines in it and stuff. But then, yeah, once it's all dry, you iron it out, and it makes the coolest pages for your journal. All right, back at the desk with the good sound. Okay, so these are dry. These are just the ones that are plain. Just dunked them in and let them dry. Let them air dry. It's going to be different. Everybody's climate is different. It takes my pages about 3 hours to dry. So yeah, they turned out really cool. These little spots that you see are just from the towel because I've been using the same towel to dye a couple of batches. Where it touches the little fibers on the towel, it gets darker. So that's kind of a cool look, actually. And then we have, let me show you the crumpled paper. So I ironed these out after they were dry. So do you see how cool that would be as a page in your journal? I mean, you could still write on it, but there's still that texture, that really old and rustic look. I really love how that turned out. So cool. All right, and then, so I did a couple, the stenciled ones, I did a couple so that I could show you how this works if you were to put it into a journal. So you take the two pieces and then face them to each other. Okay, so this is what you'll want to do if you want to have a page spread that has the same pattern or a continuing pattern in some cases. So then when you bind it into the journal and you open it up, this is what you will see. So you'll have the same pattern on both pages. Pretty cool. And then I also wanted to mention that if you're doing a whole bunch of paper and you have liquid left over while you're waiting for the first batch to dry, that liquid will start to evaporate. And so if you have to wait 3 hours for your pages to dry, that coffee bath is going to be a little bit darker after 3 hours because some of the water has evaporated. And again, it's going to depend on your climate or where you live. But yeah, that happens to me. Like my first batch won't be as dark as like the second or third batch. If I'm using, if I don't add any more coffee or water, it will just get darker and darker because the water is starting to evaporate. So that's something to keep in mind. So here is the placemat. When I use the placemat on, this is my favorite. I gotta say, it's my favorite like pattern. So that looks really cool. And then, if you decide you want to do, you want to try to dry them in your oven, like I don't do it that way, but just keep in mind, you don't want to put your stencils in the oven if they're plastic because they will melt. Here's just a few more examples, some other stencils that I did. Those are the same. Oh, I love this stencil too. Okay, here's a good example. This was in the second batch I did. This was the first batch. Do you see the difference? How much darker the coffee bath got? So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to be continuing on with another video to do with this, where I'm going to be adding more stuff to the pages so we can use them for like collaging or whatever, bits and pieces for, yeah, making ephemera. So be looking for that video because I'm pretty sure I'm going to continue on. But I hope you found this useful. Let me know what you think. Have you done this before? What's your favorite way to dye paper? What's your favorite way to coffee dye paper? I'd love to hear your comments. So I hope you're having a great week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!